I've talked about, or we're on Oakham, yeah. Northgate is a strange anomaly really, because it's pretty much in the centre of town and without restriction. And although, as I said earlier on, I think we ought to have a consultation with Rutland Town Council and town partnerships on this, I think the proposal that we put forward here today is a reasonable and fair compromise between residents and retail outlets and other businesses in the area.
So if we take that from number 20 or number 9, we've got 18 South Street, 19 Thames Street, 20 North Gate, all resident permit holder parking areas, resident parking on car park, zoning of residents parking, introduce waiver permits for residents, and introduce business waiver permits. Can I suggest that these are put forward and brought back again in 2 weeks to allow for comments from both the town partnership and any additional comments?
You just get the numbers again, sorry.
I was doing from number 19 on page small letter 10, large number 228. Which is South Street, 18 it should be, because you've got South Street. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 and 25.
What would you like to do with these?
We accept your recommendations, but defer a final decision until our meeting on the 2nd of September
I would very much like to remove 18 and 19 from South Street and
Could you please give your argument as to why?
The de minimis as far as the 2 or 3 places in terms of business parking or shopping parking, but they are pretty important to South Street. It's not just South Street that has a loss of residents. Jail Street, the residents in there will have to park elsewhere. So it is important actually to rebalance car parking arrangements for the residents in South Street. So I see no reason why we should go forward.
Right, in which case I have a recommendation for South Street to create further residence scheme permit holder bays outside wholesale rooms where the road is currently unrestricted, and Penn Street to create chicane with residence permit holder bays to slow traffic and place bays on sides of road where parking adjacent to properties is needed, and B, remove a short length of double yellow lines at Hook Road end to increase parking area for residents. You are proposing that?
Yes.
Do I have a seconder for that? All those in favour? Thank you very much indeed. So, we've made progress. So we're now doing Northgate, all resident permit number 20 through to number 25. We've come back and defer that for 2 weeks.
Happy with it.
Alberta and Vicarage Road, which is number 27 and number 28.
Again, we've been in long discussions for a long period of time with residents on this. This is to do with displacement from Stamford Road. The residents have been very helpful in canvassing opinion. Over 100 of the residents in that estate have been canvassed for their views. We looked at various ways of tackling the displacement parking problem, and the proposal that we've brought forward today is probably not only aesthetically pleasing but also quite sensible. We don't have to cover the place with yellow lines, which everyone dislikes, and we don't have to cover the place with repeater signs, which is a problem with blanking off large areas of restricted parking. It's helped by the fact that it's a single entrance estate, or 2 single space, and therefore it is quite easy to have restricted parking in the way that we've described. I think it's a good solution. It is contingent, and the residents have been supportive of this, and very sensibly so, on finding somewhere for displacement parking. And in our previous recommendations to extend this car park, I think we have found a solution to that displacement parking. Whether the people take it up or not remains to be seen.
Any comments from members?
Chair, could we just a few more details about what actually operates? The single line comment says residents only parking restriction. Can you see how it will be enforced in terms of visitors, etc.?
There is the previous proposal was that we get over this problem by having limited waiting times. It seemed like a reasonably simple proposal. The residents weren't in support due to the amount of cost that was involved. This proposal, having the zone, is going to make life slightly more difficult because there are a number of ways that visitors can be dealt with. Now, in our current resident parking scheme, we don't allow any kind of visitors permits, but there are a number of options that are available, such as scratch cards and discs that can be put into the windows. And I think
Yes, we can have scratch cards, permits.
Well, I think the point is that we haven't got the details of the visitor permit scheme, but there's an acceptance that there are a number of solutions out there, and it would be a matter of detailed consultation as to which one will make it in that particular zone.
It gives you an answer. I'm not entirely comfortable with it. I'd like to know how everything operates, but okay, thank you. That's all we've got now.
So where, let me quickly look to see if there is anything on this area. No. The recommendation is that subject to the completion of the extension to the campus car park, that Alberta Park Estate and Vicarage Road are residents only parking restrictions, with details brought back to us of how those will be implemented when we get to that particular stage. Just your point, Mr. King.
Sorry, Chair.
What I suggested was that we agree this, we proceed with this, but it may well be that we bring the paper back to explain exactly how it's going to be done.
Chair, can I suggest in terms of really, in this particular case, it's down to the balance of how the residents would like to see it operate, because effectively if they want an easy system for their visitors, it can possibly be abused, and it's something that they have to live with. So I suggested actually to the council, it's not actually that important. We can delegate that to myself and the board, in consultation with the board members, because really it's down to what balance the residents want to strike between these are.
So we simplify the proposal, which is the introduction of residents only parking restrictions on Alberta Park Estate, Vicarage Road Estate, subject to.
Chair, can I ask if they would perhaps consider, and talk to the residents, and that's the option, and I know the corporate health is well aware of these things that work in the London area, where there are restrictions on any visitor parking for an hour or whatever during the day, which means that it can't be used. That's what we're trying to do, stop long-term parking usage all day. Various parts of London, near tube stations, use these different systems to try and discourage there, don't have loads of signs and loads of passes to the outside, that sort of thing. We're going to turn what is a fairly simple problem into a massive exercise and start having to have visitor passes. And a simple ban for certain periods of the day means no long-term parking.
One of the problems of that, I believe, because I made that question with officers yesterday, was you're then into masses of lines and signs and everything else.
Yeah, I think having limited weighting in there, as soon as you introduce limited weighting, then the signing requirements become much more complicated, and rather than 2 entry signs, if that is if it's going to be enforceable, then we need to go to enforce it to some degree. It may be that there are, if if there are areas that seem to have solved this problem without us, there's lots of them, we can look at that and see how they're going to do it, and try to learn those lessons.
Okay.
I'll just say, if one particular area in London which does put particular well, because I was there the weekend, is the residential areas around Rutland Park. And you can imagine that's a different sort of thing, that does work quite well, so I'd recommend officers perhaps something for that.
The recommendation is introduction of residence only parking restrictions around Burnley Park Estate, Kensington Way, Vicarage Road, subject to completion of the extension of the Captain's car park. Do I have a proposer? Do I have a seconder? Those in favour? Thank you very much indeed. I think that pretty well gets us.
Have you covered Oakham entirely now?
Well, we've done the ones which go back to consultation. We've done Edgewood Way, we've done South Street, Penn Street. Which other ones have I missed? Have we not covered?
When I was out of the room, did you only do Pillings Road?
Correct.
Yes.
Right, so it's all Hooking Road accepted to go.
That was included in the others that we agreed. We haven't had a vote on that. Right. We now have all the other ones, from 01 through to 17. Are there any comments being wish to make?
Chair, could you just take a vote from 02 to 17? So take a one minute. Yeah.
On 2 to 17, do I have a proposer? Do I have a seconder? Those in favour? Thank you. Parking charges by mobile phone.
Can I just question number 26? Oh, 26. Have we agreed that? I fear that two members, including myself, may have a problem.
Chair, if I'm the other member, I don't, because it's just like any other motor vehicle. So I don't have an interest in there on that. The fact that I have one, I also have a car and other vehicles that don't down to those and get a motorcycle.
I also have a motorcycle.
Thank you very much indeed. Compulsion. Parking charges by mobile phone. Let's get a move on.
So, Chair, are we taking a vote on 026?
On
026.
026, right. Motorbikes can park free in Oakham and Uppingham. Do I have a proposal? Do I have a seconder? Those in favour? The ninth time of asking, pay parking by mobile phone.
This is a direction of travel. It's a matter of great convenience. I use it myself on a regular basis, regularly not in Rutland, but elsewhere. It's very useful. And I think in due course, I think you'll find many car parks using this method of payment. You still have the option of sticking money into the machine or trying to get sufficient G3 coverage to pay by card, let me say. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. You don't have to pay the 10p if you don't want to, you just stick it in the machine instead.
Are there any comments on this one? That being the case, the recommendation is that Cabinet note the introduction of a pay by mobile phone system. First by Mr. Pocock, seconded by myself. Those in favour? Thank you very much indeed. Bythorpe Road car park. Marking, last you were out, we also covered the item on Lansing Way. The decision was to go ahead to see if we can get it in. Bythorpe Road car park.
This is a tidying up really of the arrangement started last year. These residents in 11 to 13 did have car parking arrangements settled. Those are now gone. We have sufficient, for the time being at least, spaces to allow these residents to participate in the Barley Court Road car park, which is tandem parking, you probably saw in the paper. There may be a position in the future where there are more cars than there are spaces, but it will be dealt with on a first come, first basis.
There's going to be no, everybody gets one car and then others get just permit, or it's just first come, first served when they get there?
Chair, the situation at the moment is that we've asked all the residents that were originally included in the TRO to express their interest in applying for permits. There were a number of left over. We've asked tenants to permits they would like. And with the 11 sets of tandem bays, we were oversubscribed by one bay. But we've come up with a solution of splitting one of the sets of tandem bays to make them two individual bays. And by doing that, it allows us at the moment in time to allocate all the bays, or everyone who wants a permit to have a permit at this moment in time. Now, when people move into the area in the future, they may or may not find their bays available. But,
Any comments from members? Very straightforward. Recommendation is that Cabinet approve a variation to Barley Court Road car park traffic regulation order to allow residents of numbers 10 to 14 to apply for parking there. Do I have a proposer? Do I have a seconder? Those in favour?
Chairman, can I just ask off the back of that, we have a time frame now in terms of getting that whole scheme implemented?
Yeah, we were just waiting on the archaeological report for the area under there, but we should be able to start construction on that within about 2 weeks now. The archaeologists will come back and confirm the levels of archaeology within there.
And the WL lines follow on?
They can follow on. I believe the TROs are in process for that. They're already drawn, they just need to go through.
I think that's good news. Anybody who travels along that road, that will be very good. Thank you. Off-street parking charges is the last item on this. The comment from Scrooge on this is that it was a great idea to get rid of paying for up to an hour, but they weren't quite so happy that we were going to seek compensation in other ways. In Uppingham, for some considerable time now, the Town Council have been actively involved in the car parking and have subsidised for their residents, community as a whole, to use their car parks at a lower rate up to an hour, and as such they have contributed over the last 4 years, 3-4 years, to make up the difference between what would be charged in Oakham and what their users will use.
Chairman, we're mindful of requests that we've made in the past from retail outlets and business users in general in Oakham to have something similar. It becomes a matter of affordability. Who are the beneficiaries of all this free parking? And the proposal that is in the paper is that we would load longer term car parking with the cost of providing half-hour and 1 hour free parking. That's not the only solution that's available. There are other solutions available. Essentially, it needs to be cost neutral. I would be happy to explore further proposals in the next fortnight and bring this back at the first couple of meeting in September.
Can I make a proposal that the recommendation is that we defer a decision on this to Cabinet on September the 2nd to allow for discussions with Oakham Town Council and Oakham Town Partnership and businesses?
Chairman, I'm happy to second that. I would like to just make it clear to those who are being consulted that I think there's a couple of principles in here which the portfolio holder has laid out, which I'd like to add to. And that's the principle that car parking is not intended to make a profit, but neither can we afford to make a loss on it. And the reason I say we can't make a loss on it is that we have a medium-term financial plan which shows a long-term we have to make savings, therefore adding to it with something around this would be inappropriate. But more importantly, from the residents of fairness across the county, any make or any loss as a result of providing free parking in any of our towns would have to be felt by the whole of the county. The only way until we have a vote is through council tax. And for the residents who live in Ketton and who live in Whitsunday and who will use other towns for their shopping, they of course will then end up subsidising shoppers and businesses in Oakham. They'll still be paying parking charges in Oakham, in Stamford and in Corby and other places which they would go to. So I think there is a fairness that has to be applied to this, and just free parking per se isn't going to do it. But I think Oakham has set a trend which is quite useful to see, that the town council taking the lead on behalf of their community on leading on subsidising it. And I think Oakham has to consider whether it wishes to take a similar view, either through the town council or through businesses in the town. So as the burden is where the burden applies, i.e. in Oakham, and not looking on other council taxpayers across our county. So with that proviso, I'm very supportive of going out for further consultation with those businesses and councils.
The proposal has been made by myself, seconded by Mr. King, that we defer for 2 weeks. Those in favour? Thank you very much. I believe that actually covers the parking area. And I'd like to thank our